Hello. And I notice now that the green screen is not covering the area. Excuse me a moment. And we have a hoodie on the chair. Super unprofessional. It is a shit show. So I feel like I'll be making this announcement at every stream here until it happens. I think only Squirtle is here at this point. Hi, Squirtle. Hope you're having a good Sunday, and hope you're having a good one, period. But oh, what's up, Felix? I have to announce / warn / notify that I would say by either the middle or end of June, the stream is going to be on a hold hiatus thing. I don't really like to talk about what's going on personally. I foolishly thought I could make this stream and keep what's actually going on behind the scenes and never talk about personal shit, because if this is truly a place to entertain, it's something that you don't do. And that's what Dolly Parton said while being a saint behind the scenes. But essentially, I have a living situation where I have some roommates, and they are in the process of buying a home, which will mean where I live now, I will no longer be able to afford by myself. There are possible ways that somebody else can move in. There's also a possibility that I move out to a place where streaming is possible on the consistent basis that I've been doing it. However, just based on how I'm seeing it going, I don't know if that's actually accurate. So, mostly as a warning and a reminder to the folks that subscribe, which I always appreciate, it may not be the greatest idea to re-up in the middle of June or the beginning of June, because I do believe that even if I find something and I work something out to where I could stream almost immediately after possibly finding a new place to move, or if for a random reason everything doesn't work out with their new home, I don't know, it's still not for sure, but there's still a very, very, very good possibility that by the end of next month, I will not be able to stream. Not so much I can't, or mental health break, or whatever you would like to call it. I just will not be able to stream because of the facilities not being there for me to do it. So I and just my personality, I look at the negative, you know. I'm a pessimist at heart, and so I only see this as, holy shit, I'm probably not going to be able to stream for a very long time, and that's not cool, because I enjoy this. I do enjoy doing it. And sometimes streams are better than others, but I do enjoy watching movies with you guys and gals who are not conveniently here. Just kidding. They just hate Jesus. No, it's kind of a bummer. Because as we all know, you know, times aren't the greatest for people that kind of just want to live on their own and mind their own business. Because if this was the 80s, the job I have at the pay I have could afford a one bedroom, a studio where I could do all this shit and live my happy life, and that's really not how it works anymore. So I need to work something out to be able to do this. But like I said, that's a month and change from now, and I don't know exactly how it's going to shake out. And for all I know, I'm going to be back here 2 months from now in this same exact spot because of how things transpired. But I felt like it's important to let everybody know as soon as possible that this may not be happening in July. Because some folks subscribe, which I appreciate. Shadow, very consistently, and others that I cannot remember, and it makes me sad. I'm sorry, but I appreciate it, and I'm happy to have gained a small group of folks that enjoy the Legos and the movies of it all, and the sarcasm and the pun. Well, thank you, Felix. I appreciate it, man. So with that, because the title is Deconstruction, at least I think it's Deconstruct. I had to write it all up pretty quickly last night. Deconstruction. So regardless of what happens, I kind of decided I need to break down some Lego sets. I have a lot of them up. And, you know, I think it's Marie Kondo who says, like, if it brings you joy, keep it. Or if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. And I'm not saying these things don't bring me joy, but the stress of worrying about moving, it brings me joy to take these apart. I guess I have to subscribe to Amaranth. You know, Shadow, I'm just sorry I never got to those ASMR ear-licking streams for you, because I know that's what you're all about, bud. I knew you were just waiting for me to get in that hot tub and start licking fake ears. But yeah, like I said, it could be nothing. It could be a huge change. I don't know. I have to think, like I said, I think about the negative. I got to think about the positive. I do have a work from home job right now, so whatever I end up working out in terms of living, that is where my job is. So at least I have that. I do have some people to lean on and who are willing to help out if needed, and I have some good friends that are willing to help out in the ways they can. I just didn't want it to be, especially since I'm obviously not really great at the mechanics of this. Like, I obviously don't have the marketing down. And I haven't been able to make new videos for the YouTube or the Instagram lately. But I didn't want to be that guy who takes, because I know the subscription isn't that expensive, but I didn't want to take subscription money and just bounce on you, going like, I don't know when it'll be back. I don't know if and when it'll be back, guys. So thanks for that money. Hope you have a good rest of whatever length of time it takes to see you again. I just felt like that was rude, and I don't like to do that to people. Because I hate it when other companies do that to me. So I wouldn't want to do that to you. I subscribe to that golden rule of capitalism. You know, do unto others how you how you would want them to do to you. You know. But that's all sad future shit. And today we have an opportunity to deconstruct, to stress relief through the act of deconstructing Legos. So I got a whole bunch of small sets here that I'm gonna put away in boxes, which in its own way is pretty depressing. But it will be important to know that a lot of these were kind of just in the random corners of my room. They didn't spark a whole lot of joy. In fact, I modified one to be kind of depressing on purpose. As like a little piece of Lego artistic license that that is now kind of just like something that is a mishmash of different sets that I have to separate, because it will drive me insane if I don't separate them correctly. I didn't know emo Lego was a thing. I'm sure, dude, Lego everything is a thing at this point. We've learned through the internet, the Lego community. The Lego is a lot like porn. Rule 34, if it exists, there's porn of it. It's like, yeah, you know who has that same sentiment? A Lego. If it exists, there is Lego something of it. Because Lego folks, you know, they ain't fucking around. I'm like, I would describe myself as kind of like a Lego, not a poser, collector, but like the folks that come up with mocks, my own creations, custom creations, those people are leagues and leagues above regular Lego work, man. They're doing shit that is downright like masterful. They're wizards. They're wizards with plastic. So, I mean, we can just get started. And since I don't need my monitor in front to be anything specific, I can just keep it as the chat, so I can just look up and talk. I know that I'm going to have to fight with desk cam because it is way too bright, and it's not the best looking situation. But, yeah, if you... so... something I did, this is actually the bonsai set, the Lego bonsai tree, and I intentionally took off all of the foliage and replaced it with street signs and flags. Yeah, that was my contribution to contribution to the Lego arts. But yeah, I also went to put it on my desk and it tipped over, and all the signs and the weird pieces got all mixed up. Kind of Lego Dada? Kind of Lego Dada? But yeah, this set is like I said, it's a combination of the Lego bonsai tree, but the company Citizen Brick, which I have a bunch of their pattern tiles and their like little mini sets. They caught my eye because they just love to drop like really fun tiles as well as really fun minifigures. So I'm at their website constantly looking for new shit. But they are responsible for all of these little signs and these little things. They even have a little mini Declaration of Independence. We the people. All we need is a little tiny Lego Nicolas Cage. They know how to print stuff on tiles and not put stickers on them. Dude, like, they even say it on all of their boxes. Genuine pad printing. Citizen Brick prints on the Legos just like Lego Company does. And they prove the ultimate truth that Lego could exist without stickers, and they just don't want to. Which to me is, you know, ass. I know I'm going to be fighting with my desk cam because, uh-oh. There we go. Do they have tiny Bill of Rights for you to carry through metal detectors? They don't. I don't think so. But that's the thing. They update their site in weird ways. So, like, sometimes things get through that I didn't even know they had. But I like this little guy. This is a little Lego 8-ball. And then the answer it just gives you. Come on. Come on. Oh, no. The little Lego 8-ball just says nope. We got a American flag. Safety first. With a hand coming off. A little Lego hand. Welcome, Matt. Oh yeah, they also have Lego money. There's a little Lego Abraham Lincoln on that 5. Danger high voltage. They also have lockers of 5 different colors, and I bought one of each. We are deconstructing past tense. Since I know you personally, past tense, I'm sure we'll talk about it in text or private means, but the Optimus... Well, the reason I asked about the Optimus Prime stickers, I did message you, because I know you built the Lego Optimus Prime. Yard sale, no parking. The reason I wanted to ask is I saw how much the Optimus Prime was, and I kind of wanted to see if they charged you that much, did they also include stickers? Canadian flag. Nice. Because to me, and I don't know if you agree with it, past tense, because you've now built the bonsai tree, which is what I'm deconstructing now. But I built my bonsai tree, and then took off all of the foliage, and then added street signs and stuff. Which is funny, the Lego instructions on this, but I got mine for 30. No, well, I'm sure it's the same thing. I don't think Lego makes cheap Costco versions. I just don't think so. That would be a bombshell. Oh yeah, little Lego Ouija board. Oh my gosh, it caught the mouse, and the mouse is doing things on the other screen. For sale. We got for sale, yard sale, and for rent, all in the same style. And we got our 5th door, home sweet home. But yeah, I was telling everybody past tense. At least the next couple Church Has Glasses is probably going to be me taking Legos apart. We should all get drinks and do an escape room. That actually would be fun. Oh my gosh, I have a bunch falling out underneath. Little handicap sign. Oh yeah, there's also there's also Domino's. Not the pizza. There is a pizza box. There's a pizza box for decent pizza. Come on. Okay, well, if you're just not gonna work, screw yous. Well past tense, the thing that I assumed we would talk about privately. My current roommates are in the final stages of potentially purchasing a house, which I will not be invited to live in. And since I will probably be in the stages of moving, maybe to a place where I won't be able to stream for a little while, I am using the Church Has Glasses time to deconstruct Lego sets that would be very, very, very hard to move around if I were actually moving to a different place. And yeah, so I am attempting to make it a little easier and take away some stress. Something else I did with this bad boy, those are all rust tiles on the planter of this. 'Tis a somber time in the Kirk's Glasses stream. I don't want it to be. I think there's 8 dominoes. I also tipped this whole thing over when I put it on my desk, so I'm worried I'm losing pieces. So I might be a little bit worried. Oh yeah, there's also a porn tape, or it could be a copy of XXX on VHS. The autofocus is not your friend. There we go. XXX on VHS. But yeah. So I'm using the Kirk Has Glasses stream to, decompress and deconstruct. I do believe that the movie XXX wishes it could get a Lego endorsement. Well, the Lego rules are very interesting. Because I know Lego, from the very beginning, they made a hard and fast rule. No war toys. But then they got a Star Wars license, and they're like, well, that's not real war. That's fictional war. And then when the movie licensed Lego sets were so popular, it made so much money, they're like, but that's not real violence. That's like implied violence. It's like not even the same thing, dude. Come on, we're Lego. I don't know. I'm not gonna I'm gonna put you in there. But anyway. So this is probably gonna be the weirdest part of the stream. I'm going to have to deconstruct this bonsai tree. I don't know if I should attempt to take every single piece apart or leave it in pieces in the box if I want to rebuild it. Yep. But oh, that's a fun little piece. Little piece of Lego bacon. Just a little piece of Lego bacon for your morning. Speaking of bacon, police line. We have fun. At least we try. Alright, I'm gonna put you in there. Alright, the miscellaneous pieces. Bagged and ready to go. Now, we gotta worry about... Come on. There we are. For half a second. Does that look like... No. No, it doesn't. We're just gonna cut out part of the look. And for those of you wondering, yes, I do keep a brick separator, which is what I took a picture of for the Discord and the Instagram. This is a brick separator. I always keep one on my keyboard that is Lego compatible, just in case you have a Lego emergency. And also because it fits right on. I thought that was a tiny Lego doorstop. I wondered why that was a thing. Yeah, this thing has saved so many people's fingernails and pieces themselves by creating a... Also, just let me know if and when you need help moving. I will, past tense. And like I said, it's still kind of up in the air because there could be people potentially moving in where I live now. Weirdly... Brick Separator's my favorite Offspring song. There's a lot of things that could happen, but either way, it seemed like a good idea, just as prep, to, maybe deconstruct these guys, because trying to move with a Lego set is basically impossible. That over there. Alright. Let's get the rust tiles. No, open the wrong way, son of a bitch. Oh, and we had a little runaway Ouija board. You gotta keep the bricks separated, Shadow. Keep the bricks separated. I also realize... Is it not bringing up the... One quick second, because it should be showing the chat on the screen now. I don't think it is. No, it definitely is not. So... Yeah, hold on. Give me one quick sec. There it is. There you are. Down there in the corner. Possibly not readable. Yeah. But in keeping with how these streams usually go, where I end up talking about movies for way too long. My roommate and I, which by the way, one of my roommates currently has the COVID, and they are quarantined in the bedroom that both my roommates share, and the other roommate is in our living room, couch sleeping, and so I took that opportunity to say, hey, why don't we watch Lord of the Rings Extended Edition? Because I know that their partner is not a fan of Lord of the Rings Extended Editions, but the person sleeping in the living room is. So we watched the first two, and oh boy, are those movies awesome, in my opinion. Obviously, you kind of have to be in a mood for such a thing. Like, I do not fault anyone for being like, I don't really want to do this. Like, I understand that the Lord of the Rings Extended Editions are a decision. The Lord of the Rings Extended Edition are a decision that one makes. Um, trash? What are you doing in here? I never cared for Lord of the Rings. They all put me to sleep. I completely understand. The question is, do I want to take these things apart? Where are... There they are. There they are. Okay. So I want to put these in small... That's one thing I do admire about myself. My ability to watch movies with full attention. Because that is something I found out about my roommates. Not saying I'm not, it's not a value judgment when I say it, but they do not have the ability to pay attention to a movie like I do. We also have just different opinions about movies, period. But, like, for me, when the movie's on, the movie's on. It's time for the movie. And other people are like, oh, the movie's on. Like, that's just the background thing while we talk and do this. And I'm like, is it, though? Is it? And the one thing I just don't appreciate, because I can understand and accept. They don't appreciate Bruno Fassoda. These whippersnappers, man, they don't appreciate the legends. But I also, I just cannot accept / deal with when people say things like, oh yeah, and also, like, Lord of the Rings isn't even that good. And I'm like, okay. It's good. I understand that it may not be your taste. I understand that you may not have the attention span for it, and it may be kind of difficult for you to watch because of its length. But it's still a good movie. Still great movies. The amount of fucking... work that goes into that bad boy needs to be acknowledged and appreciated. I have no idea how I'm going to separate these, because normally I would actually separate them into the numbered bags that Lego usually does. However, I don't really have that ability right now because it's already apart in different ways. Woohoo! We'll just kind of make different piles. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to talk about the movie while watching it. That's why you're watching it together. But people who just chat about random stuff while watching, that's annoying. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Uh-oh. Quick separator. Do your magic. Oh, no. There it is. But yeah, just the... Oh, I did the opposite of what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh. What was I thinking? Because yeah, when I watch movies with my roommates, there is a lot of talking, but it's also like... there is kind of this like level where I think they know when I'm just like, well, I'm not going to be able to participate in the conversation because I'm enjoying the magic of Speed, starring Keanu Reeves and Jeff Daniels and Dennis Hopper and Sandra Bullock. I do not have the time. I gotta be focused on what they're saying. But Lord of the Rings, I think, is a good one to like talk during, because it's like, obviously we're gonna have to talk during this. Like, have you seen this movie? You need to get out of here. You're over there. What's wrong with discussing Zelda when watching Wizard of Oz, comparing moblins and munchkins? There's nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong, Tog. I do not want to lose these little tiny pieces. Please do not lose these little tiny pieces. Do that if you want. I'm not especially attached to either franchise. I haven't watched Wizard of Oz in quite some time, but I do think that's one of those movies where I think our opinion of its greatness is influenced by its like longevity. Like, I don't know if it's actually that great. I have a Lord of the Rings books, but I could never finish reading them. My attention span sucks. I really dug the movies. And then I watched the extended editions, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should read these books. And then I read the books, and I was like, how did you get this great stuff out of these books? Like, these books are kind of boring and drab. And they, like, don't go anywhere. Well, they go a lot of places. But I don't understand why, like, we talk about the genealogy of someone for 7 pages, but then we talk about the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is like one of the best cinematic fights ever. And that whole segment in the book is like 2 pages. 2 to 4 pages. And you're just like, what the hell are you talking about? So how did you make that great piece of cinema with this as your jumping off point? Also, if that is the case, then is the book actually that great? It's just basically all we got out of that book is all these names. All these names and maps for places that don't even exist. Yeah. But their length, man. The length of those movies really prevent it from being, you know, a beloved like hit among the masses. Even though like the Marvel movies are getting longer, the Batman movie was a little bit too long, and Transformers movies are getting to 3 hours, which is like laughable. It's not even gonna fit in that bag, is it? It's not even gonna fit in the bag. I guess you'll just go into the big bag as is. We'll go into the big bag as is, because you got long pieces. I have like 100 of these bags, because I thought I'd be buying a lot more stuff from Citizen Brick, which sometimes didn't come in their own containers, and then they started using their own containers. So now I have a bunch of these little bags that make me look maybe a little bit like a drug dealer. Might as well use them. May as well use them to separate by color. Oh, Lord of the Rings. But it's also funny because when you know the movies well enough, and you get to a point where you're watching it and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like we've sat here for a very, very long time, and I know we still have so many more beats of this movie to get to. It's like we haven't even gotten to the Galadriel scenes. Oh my gosh. And there's still like a bunch of beats after that. Oh, still good though. Still the shit. Anyways. Anybody else watch any good movies lately? I almost ended up watching Guardians of the Galaxy with my brother and my dad, but then someone took a nap. I'm not going to say who, but someone took a nap and kind of changed those plans up on us. And I heard it's going to make me cry, so I didn't really want to. Just want to see it in front of my male family members, because then, of course, that means, you know, you're a wuss. Because you showed emotion at something. At or for something. Guardians of the Galaxy almost made me cry. Got an almost. I know that there's like a concept of what is it called? But it's a good movie. Yeah, I mean I've heard pretty much only good things about it. And I've also heard that while we can all admit, and I'm not saying you should take me seriously when I say it, but I've also heard that Fast and the Furious 10, also known as Fast X, was a lot better than people expected. And by people, I mean specifically people I know, who I may have watched F9, the Fast Saga with. And we both were like, this is kind of bad. Speaking of good movies and bonsai trays, The Karate Kid. First movie, fantastic. Definitely should watch if you've never seen it. First Karate Kid, basically a timeless classic. Featuring a near Oscar-worthy performance by Pat Morita, who plays Mr. Miyagi. That dude literally was nominated for an Oscar for being Mr. Miyagi. Didn't win, of course, because it's a movie called The Karate Kid, but still, great movie. Also realize that the camera is not really showing my hands because of my posture and the desk, but also I'm pretty sure that the camera that I'm using as the desk cam also tends to autofocus and really screw up the whole thing anyway. Yeah, jeez. And while the stream may fundamentally be changing at the end of next month, I do feel like I can tell you the next 2 movies on Monday will be bangers. I'm very excited about them. I'm kind of shocked about how good Island of Terror was, period. But the next 2 are sure to be capital W winners in the halls of public domain movies that we watch on Mondays. Come on. Get in there. Get in there. If/when I go to rebuild this, I'm going to be pretty upset by how I bagged them. I also am not sure what I could have done that wouldn't have taken way too freaking long. Because if I were to take all these apart, so why is the music on this one so low? Couldn't even hear the damn thing. Silence was deafening. One game that I tried to get working for Sunday streams, get working again, because I know I played it before on stream. Tried to get Roller Coaster Tycoon working again. But the issues that sprung up about those were getting annoying as hell. Oh damn, I remember those streams. Well, the problem was, it's like a game that you can't just click out of like you can with modern games. So I could start it and then like start the stream, but if I had to change anything about the stream or make any changes to the overlay or make any changes to the stream like while it's playing, I would have to turn it off, and sometimes that took a long time. It was just like little tiny frustrating things that I was like, why don't you just work? Like, why don't you just work the way I wish you would? Like, that speaks to like the quality of Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's like, oh, I want to play this game. I want to play this game from so long ago. It doesn't have any like ability to work with modern shit. Because back in the day, kids, we didn't play video games for audiences. We played video games just because they were fun. We didn't have streaming and emojis and subscription tiers and women basically doing near pornographic things to get money from people, but hey, it's not actually pornography. There we go. Shitting on Amarath, who's gonna get another follower after all this is said and done out of, another follower out of, Shadow. And I also, like, I don't want to play it, but I do want to look into it more, because I know that Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was, like, notoriously a huge drop-off. And I'm kind of curious as to just how bad that was. Do you believe in the Legos today? Do you see the Legos as a way to stress relief? Do you see love in the Legos? Truth in the Legos? Honesty in the Legos. I forgot there was a Lego movie until today. I think the Lego movie was a shocking, like, it was shocking that it had quality. Like, I think like most people, or at least I thought, I assumed like, oh good, a cash grab from Lego. How great. So excited that something I really, really enjoy is now gonna be just trying to get into the movie game to get more money out of us. And then you watch the Lego movie and you're like, wow, that was actually a pretty dope story. Pretty funny. Pretty dope and funny and cool. And the Lego Movie 2 was like, ooh. I think people forgot that Lego didn't make a movie to hawk their products because they sold good enough money. Also, the Lego Batman movie, which was like an opportunity to, like, poke fun at Batman as a character, which is, like, so dope. Because Batman is funny. Like, Batman just as a character is really funny. And all of the weird things that Batman has gone through and how Batman has changed. Like, it was a pretty dope movie. And I think, and I could be wrong, I think they stopped making Lego movies because of Lego Ninjago, which was a terrible fucking movie that I think I watched on a plane. And I almost walked out of the theater. I don't know who made that joke first, but it definitely wasn't me. This bag has a Lego bonsai on it. And you know, you can tell the green screen is picking up the foliage. Those are not invisible bricks, people. It's the magic of movie making. And try and put the tree in bags. I really dug the Lego movie. When I worked for a store that sold TVs, but they weren't they didn't have any like official rules about what could be played on the TV to display their capabilities and whatnot. So I brought in a bunch of PG and G-related or G-rated movies, and I was like, well, then put these bad boys on, and one of them was the Lego movie. And I remember walking back and forth from that department, because the bathroom was not near that department, and I always take a minute to watch maybe a scene or two. And that movie was just so dope. And how it actually, they made the decision in the Lego movie, but not in subsequent movies. But they made that decision that, oh, every single thing will be Lego. The water will be Lego. The fire will be Lego. Every single piece of this film that is on screen is Lego. And the only thing that wasn't was like the big reveal of the Craggle, and then, you know, spoiler alert, the reveal of the real world versus the Lego world, which is like in this imagination of this boy who's using it to work out his issues with his father and his sister and his family. Like, oh man, it was just such a good movie. Now I want to watch the Lego movie. Thanks a lot, Squirtle. Now you got me thinking about the Lego movie and its quality. should be thinking about what's gonna happen to where I live. I'm now thinking about movies made for children. Everything is awesome. Everything's cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you're living a dream. Made by the Lonely Island. Same people who made Dick in a Box wrote Everything is Awesome for the Lego Movie. Or no, they were featuring. I think it was Tegan and Sarah. That's right. Don't at me, people who are super into the actual credits for songs and movies. I only work in black and really, really, really dark gray. And also Lego using their all their licenses was super dope. I want to watch the Lego movie as well. It's a good one. At least it's a good movie. It's not like, oh, now I really want to watch this bad movie that I know is bad. That I know I'm not going to actually enjoy for its quality. Yeah, the Lego movie, like, I don't know if you've seen the Lego movie part 2 or the second part. Like, there's something off about that one. Like, I can't even put my finger on exactly what it was. It was just like, this doesn't seem right. Treasure Planet. Fun fact, Treasure Planet came up in my research for an episode of NYPD Blue that I was watching for the podcast that I host and am on constantly, NYPD Blue Balls, about the show NYPD Blue. But essentially, the character that played Theo Sipowicz, Andy Sipowicz's son, was the voice of young John Hawkins. He was the voice of the young version of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character in Treasure Planet, and I was like, oh shit, did not know that. They don't have a lot of acting credits, but they do have a connection to Treasure Planet. A movie that, honestly, I think I've seen maybe twice in my life. Maybe twice. And I think it's because I feel like it insults the memory of Muppet Treasure Island. Speaking of Muppet Treasure Planet, has anybody watched that Muppet show based on, hey now, the book it based on predates them both by quite a bit. Has anyone watched the Muppet show that they made about the Electric Mayhem? Like, I thought that was a weird choice. Like, obviously Disney, like, market researches and like, looks into what they think will make money, and they don't make these decisions lightly, I don't think. But the Electric Mayhem show seems like an odd idea. The Electric Mayhem, Felix, is the rock band in the Muppets universe. There was a band on the Muppets in the Muppet Show called Electric Mayhem, and they were they had Animal as a drummer, and they had a bunch of like stereotypical rocker-looking folks as the other members, and it was just kind of like every time they needed a rock band for something, it'd be the Electric Mayhem. But they made a like mockumentary style television show about the Electric Mayhem making a comeback, and like a bunch of like classic rock musicians and just a bunch of celebrities are all talking about like, oh man, the Electric Mayhem, they started everything. It's kind of like how they did that Muppets mockumentary style show that was like Muppets, but it was the Office version of the Muppets. It's kind of like that, but it's about the Electric Mayhem, the fake Muppet rock band. And I don't know, I just thought it was a weird decision, but I think people watched it, question mark, maybe, I don't know. Because I don't really talk to people about Muppet shows. Because I think they secretly judge me. Well, not my thing, but I'm sure a lot of overlap between Muppets fans and music fans. I could see that. I could see that for sure. But it did kind of feel like, and I don't know if it's Disney fatigue, I don't know if it's life fatigue, but it does feel like, especially with Disney properties, where it's just like, we gotta make something. Look, we have the Muppets, we gotta use them. So what do you got? What do you got for the Muppets? What about the Electric Mayhem? Perfect, just make it. Put it on Disney Plus, someone will watch it. And a couple months later, sir, about this writer strike, fuck up! The corporate world is using ChatGPT to do everything. Why can't we? My fourth yacht isn't going to get financed by paying these writers. Writers out there complaining and shit. Oh, I can't afford to live. Well, you should have thought of that before deciding to work. You want to make money in this society? You don't work, you exploit. Come on. It's day one shit. Got a little too real there. I apologize. Hold on real quick. Okay, it's not exactly it, but that sounds like the Pornhub meme. Oh, that's funny. It's like, that song kind of sounds like the opening to the Pornhub videos. So there we go. That is a bonsai tree in a bag. That goes in the bonsai tree box. And since we have more room in that box, we're going to put in some Citizen Brick pattern tiles. Now, one of my favorites here, kind of the first thing that got me onto Citizen Brick a long time ago. These are tiles that are the carpet print from The Shining. I had them on my keyboard for a while, but this is when they didn't come with bags all the time, so I was like, oh, I better get bags, and then turns out they now come with these little things. So, don't even know why I'm bringing it up. But yeah, Shire tiles? No, shining tiles. Not shiny tiles. Stop it. Everybody calm down. But yeah, then we got the animal print ones, which I just thought were fun. Then the rust. It was like, there's less in there than it should. I'm not missing rust tiles. Anyway. Alright, so I gotta, I now gotta hit the keyboard and get these, because I used the cobblestone tiles and the diamond tiles over Meow, and I need to put them back. So we'll do that real quick. But yeah, that writer's strike in Hollywood, if you ever get a chance, make sure to watch videos of, I believe his name's Adam Conover. He was a writer, and he also hosted a show called Adam Ruins Everything, which is basically just a pessimist's outlook on everything in life, but also kind of fun and funny. He's kind of he's become one of the spokespeople for this writer strike, and he has been dropping heaters on people. He was interviewed on CNN, and they're like, well, tell us like exactly what you mean by the exploitation and this, that, and the other. And he's like, well, let's talk about this. The guy who runs the company you work for, and then dropped how much money that guy makes, who owns CNN and like a bunch of other shit. And here's how much his workers are getting paid, his writers are getting paid for some of the shows. And then the person was like, well, thank you for possibly having me lose my job, but thank you so much. And he also is like making TikToks where he's like, so we're here on the picket line, and here are the ways that union busters are trying to make our work harder, and then just like points the camera at shit that the companies are doing, which are making them less successful. And it's like, it's just so dope. The guy's really funny and also really smart. But hey, why pay the writers? Well, once the reporters said that they can't fire him, it'd be disastrous PR. Well, one thing about that writer's strike that was like kind of an eye-opening thing, I think, for me, I don't know if anybody else cares. I think they're just happy that there's another season of bullshit out there on one of their streaming services for them. But they did ask, they had a lot of very specific demands, and they listed them out publicly. And one of them was, they want assurances that studios and people that own these companies will not use AI to modify or rewrite their scripts for them. Which I'm like, okay, that seems like a no-brainer, because if you've paid this person, if you take what they wrote, have something that you don't have to pay, rewrite it, that's exploitive and wrong, and like, just on a human level, like, obviously. And they didn't even respond to that demand. They're just like, nah. And it's like, dude. Like, I guess they have the pulse of the people, and people don't care. But I don't necessarily want to watch shows that were made by robots, because robots know how I think and feel. That's just me, though. Bonsai tree is deconstructed. But now we have a whole lot, and I mean a whole lot, of flowers. I got roses, I got sunflowers, I got daisies, daffodils. They usually come in boxes like this, which just immediately get destroyed, and that bothers me, but we'll make it work. Do I not have a bag or a box for that? I do, so how did that end up in there? Anyway, I know some people say they'll adapt the growth of AI. I'm dreading a day that all movies are written by AI. Well, it's really, you know, it really is getting to that point, and I don't think, you know, I think people will kind of just see what I'm saying or hear what I'm saying as kind of like, oh, you're just, you just watch too many movies. But I do think we're getting to the point where it's either Star Trek or it's Terminator. And we gotta figure out what side we're gonna land on. And we're not gonna land on the side of Star Trek by yelling, that's socialism, and people should just die if they get sick. That's not Star Trek. That's Terminator. Because we're starting to learn that jobs, in quotes, don't need to be done by human beings. And if that is the case, the jobs do not need to be done by human beings, then eventually we're going to get to the point where all things are done by non-human beings. And when that happens, what do human beings do for food? Because the folks at the top don't mind getting more money not using human beings, and they don't mind watching people die. So, what do we do? And Gene Roddenberry, you know, made that point where it's like, okay, technology's gotten to the point that we can go anywhere, do anything. We don't have to worry about food. We don't have to worry about money. We don't have to worry about this. We don't have to worry about that. What do people do? They go out into space. They explore. They peacefully try to coexist with everything that they find. And the conflict comes, you know, from, you know, encountering new species and whatever. That's Star Trek. But we haven't even gotten to the point where we can go, hey, should we let our neighbors live if they disagree with us on some things? And some people are like, no. Well, then we're not going for Star Trek. We're going for Terminator. And guess what? There's only one John Connor, and there's millions of skulls. I'm not looking forward to the era where a majority of people aren't qualified to do any jobs that aren't done by AIs. I'm not looking forward to that era either. This is supposed to be relaxing and de-stressing. And here we are. Becoming stressed and depressed. Yeah, church has glasses. It's the church has glasses guarantee. Alright. Well, I do think that, like... Well, I can guarantee you my own stress and depression. Sorry, Felix. But I do, you know... I do think that a lot of folks thought, oh, we're just going to get to the point where, like, it's the Matrix, but it's the Matrix meets Wall-E, where everyone's just lazy, but we all work in this digital space. And it's like, I don't think we have enough time for that, man. I think you were thinking, I think you're thinking we're going to get there way too fast. You can literally do the they love me not with these. Of course, it always ends at the same amount, so you'd be dumb. Sorry to insult anybody who picks the petals off Lego flowers to determine whether someone loves them or not. That is your belief? Is your right to believe that? Roses were much quicker to deconstruct than the bonsai tree. A lot less parts. And if you think this is exciting, at some point I'll probably have to deconstruct a lighthouse that is too tall to even, I think, film. And I will have to deconstruct two different Lego DeLoreans from Back to the Future. I'll have to deconstruct a small Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters. Also have to deconstruct a VW van, whose box is where I think all these flowers are going to end up going. I think it has a lot of extra space. Alrighty. Roses taken apart. And that set was for ages 8 and up. Let's go sunflowers. I thought these were dope. This was a good use of very small Lego parts. Make the sunflower. That was pretty dope. That's like a Lego line, a line of Lego. I think these were kind of a surprise hit. Maybe surprise, maybe not. The botanical collection, because it was like, oh, cool, you can make little flowers, put them in little pots and stuff, and they don't die like real flowers. They'll just live forever, and eventually in the sea with all the other plastic. My brother bought the Back to the Future car, and we have yet to build it. The big one? I think it has to be the big one, because the little one was kind of a limited run. But that big one is dope, dude. That set is just so dope. It has stickers, which bothers the hell out of me, personally. I hate that Lego still uses stickers on its really expensive sets. To me, that seems like an insult. Seems like you know you can print it on the brick, so just print all of it on the brick, please.
That's why I asked Past Tense about his Optimus Prime, because I saw the price of that Optimus Prime and I was like, that should have no stickers on it. Sure enough, he let me know. There were indeed. No! Fuck that, my brother's dealing with the stickers. I always use tweezers for my stickers. Always. Always use tweezers for my stickers. And slowly and methodically drop it on. Yep. Like, obviously, I like Lego. I enjoy Lego. De-stresses and calms me and whatnot. There's a lot of people that do. But I don't, it's just something I truly don't understand. If you make that much money on these little pieces of plastic, and I know the markup must be insane. If I know that, and you know that, why are there stickers? And I can understand the idea of like, well, some people like the stickers. Like, okay, I get that. 100%. Some people like the stickers. Cool. Rad. However, do you think the people that like the stickers also like putting stickers on a set that costs them $200? And I know I've said this before on these same exact kinds of streams. But dude. If a person spends over $150, they don't want stickers. They don't. I can guarantee you they don't want stickers because they want that thing to look as perfect as possible, especially if they're spending that kind of money. Even the dogs are agreeing with me. I can hear them barking. They're going, no stickers. They're continuing. They're as riled up as I am about this sticker nonsense. I will say, before I got word that this house situation was more possible than not possible, one of the ideas I had was just to play Red Dead Redemption again on Sundays, but be the evil, or play the evil path, and do the really messed up stuff. Even though I played that a little bit, Red Dead Redemption bad, or bad karma playthrough, whatever you want to call it, and it does not make any sense with the story of that game, but kind of sounds like a Hall & Oates song. It's difficult to write a strong story that can adapt to plays, just doing whatever they want. Yeah, I agree. But I even felt like the original Red Dead Redemption, like, the one thing I think it did better was kind of, I think it did a good job of kind of putting you in the shoes of, like, you could go about this two different ways and your character still seems like the same guy. But going, like, the really messed up way in Red Dead Redemption 2 is like, yeah, you're right, it's difficult. But also, Red Dead Redemption 2 is kind of like this, I don't know, I think it kind of transcends general video game story making. Like, even more than everybody's boner for The Last of Us. Like, Red Dead Redemption 2 is so freaking good. And, like, shows actual suffering and difficult decisions. No offense to people that love Last of Us Part 1 and 2. And also, can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? The Last of Us was not called The Last of Us Part 1. It was called The Last of Us. And then they made a sequel, and that was called Last of Us Part 2. Don't repackage the first one as Last of Us Part 1. Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Because then it makes it seem like you were planning that sequel this whole time, which I don't think you were. I think you would, if that first game didn't do well, I don't think you had a Part 2 in mind. I think you made that after the fact. So, calling the first one Part 1 is disingenuous and not cool. That's just my opinion. No one cares, but I just don't do that. Red Dead Redemption 2 technically takes place before Red Dead Redemption 1. Rockstar really never cared about that shit because you could see it in their Grand Theft Auto titling. But, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like that titling is like a trick because they do the same thing in movies. A perfect example is Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises. They only called The Dark Knight Rises because The Dark Knight was so successful. However, I don't think The Dark Knight Rises is even close to the quality of The Dark Knight, but every time you see Dark Knight Rises, you immediately have to think about The Dark Knight. I think Last of Us Part 1 is supposed to make you go, oh, this is the prequel to Last of Us Part 2. But you know what also does that? Just calling it The Last of Us. Because a person should be able to go, that's Part 2, also called The Last of Us. Probably a prequel to Last of Us Part 2. The only thing Rockstar did wrong is we're not getting a reissue or I guess rework of the first Red Dead Redemption, because I'd play that again after playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Boom. Sunflowers. Now in pieces. Let's do... What are these? These daffodils? What are these called? Daisies? I don't know my flowers. What the H, man? them? Let's try. Speaking of games with decent stories or great stories, I think the second Infamous 2, I think that one could be reworked and remade into a pretty bitchin' movie. Or not movie, I'm sorry. Rebooted game. I mean, it could be a decent movie too. So I think you'd have to combine Infamous 1 and 2 or revamp the first Infamous story, because I think it kind of... I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm saying the first Infamous story kind of pulls a... Like, what the hell? In fact, one of my favorite reviews of a video game is of the first Infamous on zero punctuation. He says, the game takes a turn at fourth and bananas when a weird thing happens in the game. And I always love that line. Yeah, Infamous is the story of like it's like a courier, a messenger. And while he's taking one of his messages, or one of his packages, the package starts to like move around and start pulsing. So he opens it up, and then basically an explosion happens, and it destroys like an entire like city block. But he's still alive, and then he has electrical powers. And then it turns out that the thing he was transporting is kind of like a it's a thing that makes people superheroes if they have certain genes. So he then has to either rebuild the city or make the city his bitch. Hence, like, that's the moral choice system in the game. And he learns throughout the game. I don't want to spoil it, so I won't spoil it. But he learns something about the person that sent the package, and it turns out to be connected to him in a bigger way. And he also learns that the package itself was something developed to make superheroes out of people, but if it doesn't make you a superhero, it just immediately kills you. So it's kind of like a arms race between corporations and people. And because it went off in this city, like, some of the people got their own superheroes who then, you know, do bad things. You have to decide to either help or bring them to justice. The first one is not bad. And I don't want to spoil the first one, but the way it leads into the second one is essentially you're told there is a creature coming. It has been foretold, and this creature is going to just annihilate entire cities. And you have to build up your skills and get help to take care of the creature. And then at the end of the game, at the end of Infamous Part 1, you kind of have this, like, the final choice is really the moral choice, which is... That sounds genuinely cool. I never got to play these console-exclusive games as a kid. It was cool. I think it got a little repetitive. Like, it did a lot of that classic, like we expected a lot out of, is it Ubisoft? Whoever made Assassin's Creed. They just made a ton of Assassin's Creeds. It kind of does that general, it does that, like, general open world, here's things that you can clear out and take care of. No.
and collectibles, and like eventually it just becomes like a checklist of things you have to do, and it kind of becomes, you know, monotonous. But the reason the review of the first one is my favorite, one of my favorite reviews, is because the guy doing the review is like, so it starts off normal, like you're taking care of guys that also got powers. It turns on fourth and bananas when it turns out some of the people that got superpowers were the homeless. So they started making like giant trash golems and terrorizing the city. Like, so at first you're just like doing like kind of general like superhero shit, like, oh, stop this robbery, oh, do this, take care of this. And then eventually you're fighting giant trash monsters that are being controlled by superpowered unhoused individuals. And it's like, it does get to a point where you're like, what the hell? But Infamous 2 is way more of like, you're gaining allies to come together to hopefully fight this creature that it's on its way to meet you in the city that you actually escaped to. And then you find out, oh shoot, much like the ending of the first game, you find out this beast is actually more connected to you than you thought, and the ultimate choice we're all gonna have to make, or that you will have to make, kind of decides the fate of the entire country because of how this technology works that turns people into superheroes. It was pretty good. I think the first two were solid games. I think the second one's better, but I do think that Infamous Second Son, which was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and the reason I bought a PlayStation 4 and I convinced myself was worth it, it was not worth it. For one, the very big choices at the end of Infamous 2 are made irrelevant by the fact that Infamous Second Son even exists, and the characters are not as fun or compelling or interesting, and they kind of make him like a shitty they make the main character like a shitty rip-off Banksy, where Cole McGrath, I think is his name in Infamous, is way more of like he's just an everyman who's at the wrong place at the wrong time, and now he has to figure out what he's going to do with this crazy responsibility. Very superhero-esque, you know? And I think if I remember the first Infamouses, I believe the powers have to be elemental. Like the main character, it's electricity, and there's fire, and water, and wind, and shit. But, daffodils, got it. They get the nice box. This is when it officially became a part of the botanical collection. Making me hydrate. Squirtle making me hydrate out here. Oh, damn it, Squirtle. Ugh. What's that? You get daffodil powers? Oh, jeez. I didn't want to do that. Son of a bitch. Thank you, Squirtle. But yeah, the Infamouses. By the time you get to Infamous Second Son, the idea of elemental powers are like fast and loose, as the way I would describe it, man. Because like one is like neon smoke. It's just weird and ass and not great. And the infamous one, like the first two Infamouses, like the moral choice is kind of like, okay, Infamous 1 is everybody thinks you're evil because you're technically responsible in their eyes for destruction of like a really big part of the city. So you either feed into that and you use your powers to intimidate and gain power for yourself and like make the city kind of bow down to you because they're already a little bit afraid, or you use your powers to do good to change their opinion of you, and to help rebuild what was destroyed and kind of clear your name. And then the second Infamous, you're either using your powers to do good to try and get aid to take care of this huge problem, or you are exploiting people and trying to grow your powers specifically so that you can take care of this beast that will be coming, that will be stronger than anything you've ever faced. So you're trying to use your powers and get stronger and assert that you're strong enough to take care of this thing yourself. And then, like, Infamous Second Son is just like, do you just want to be an asshole? Like, do you... Do you want to be an asshole or do you want to help people? Like, that's the choice. Like, you're always kind of an insufferable asshole, but do you want to be more of an insufferable asshole? But yeah. Infamous. Takes a turn on 4th and bananas. Just such a great joke. That same reviewer hates The Last of Us, and that kind of makes me happy in a fun way. He describes The Last of Us as like making Oscar bait for games, and it's like, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what they're doing. And when you watch the show, it's like, wow, it's just like the game. It's like, yeah, that's Emmy bait, and this is Oscar bait. So realizing this fucking thing. So I don't know if you can tell, but the stand that's holding up the camera I'm using is right to my right. And every time I try to get out or make moves to my right, it always ends up shaking the camera, which is not a positive experience for everyone involved, I know, and I apologize. Please do not send me videos of you being sick because of the camera. This will also be a great way to showcase just how many fucking weird random Lego sets I have just in my room that aren't necessarily built. That was a game that I thought about, if I remember correctly, I thought about, like, is there a way for me to play Infamous? And there wasn't. That I couldn't find. I couldn't find a way, and I was like, well, that's kind of a bummer. Infamous would be a fun game, because it's kind of got a good story, but it also is just repetitive enough that it'll be good to talk about nonsense in the in-between. Also has a comic book styling.
comic book art styling and its cinematics. That's one thing about living in this age that's kind of dope. If you miss a video game, you could literally bring up a playthrough on YouTube without any commentary, and it's like I'm playing it. And maybe the guy's better than you, and you can pretend like, oh shit, that was great. But these are actually pretty easy to take apart when we get to the big sets. And it's the slow, methodical taking apart of Lego sets. That's gonna be when it gets real boring. Not like now, which is just a bullet train of entertainment. I also just realized that if I find a spot to go to that's actually pretty solid, and I might be there for a while, the idea that I just have a stream where I'm rebuilding everything I'm taking apart. We'll call those streams futility. Oh, man. No, no. When the pieces fall to the floor. Gotcha. Oh shit, I just remembered I have pizza in the fridge. Just remembered that I got pizza in the fridge. Hot damn. That's a good feeling. Oh, and I don't have to go get food. I don't have to make anything. It's just right there. Ready to go. Pizza. Hand. Face. Hell yeah. Frickin' pizza. Best. Pizza and ranch is amazing. It's so funny because I'm a big fan of ranch. Big fan of ranch. But I don't like ranch on pizza. No. I don't judge anyone who does do that. I mean, ranch away. But I don't like ranch on my pizza. I do enjoy my pizza with a little Parmesan. Get a little parm on that thing. But not the ranch. Not the ranch. Not my thing. But you do you. You do that voodoo that you do. Squirrel. Pizza, wings, and ranch is just everything you need in a meal. Possibly vegetables and maybe some fruit, but you know. Dude, Parmesan cheese on pizza is amazing as well. Damn it, no, I want pizza. Well, when you're eating pizza and watching the Lego movie, you can curse me. You can curse me to your heart's delight. Oh shit. Deconstructed. Boom skis. There we are. Boom. And now we got another Lego set boxed. Now, this set, I actually really dig, but it's kind of just been sitting on the... I think I built this on stream. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, it's a little camera. Little, oh, I had, sorry. Had the cap on, sorry. Yeah, just a little photo camera. I think this is one of those like extra sets that you got just for purchasing a certain amount on their site. Looks like there's a hair stuff in the set. I don't think there was when I put it out, but now there is. Interesting. Yeah. Little camera. It even has the sides to put it on like a little lanyard to go around your neck. Oh yeah, it also... Oops. I went the wrong way. Of course I did. Jeez. I'm destroying the set by trying to show off this feature. Putting it together, I'm going to be taking it apart. Just want this to work right put the film in. It's so dope. Such a tiny thing. Brings just a little bit of joy. Take this bad boy apart. And this box specifically was like made to piss me off. Because it basically just falls apart by the way it was built. It's like, what the hell, man? Much less methodical. Woo! Bitch. Son of a bitch. Get on the floor. What did you find in your freezer, squirrel? Well, congratulations on the finding of such amazing thing. Whew. Don't think this is gonna come off. Well, never mind. As I continue on, I'm thinking about my pizza. Thinking about its delicious cheese and sauce. Putting that extra Parmesan cheese in the bread, and the complete lack of vegetables because I got just pepperoni pizza. I don't know how that's gonna come off. Ooh. Stuck on there, faux show. Don't have fingernails. I think you're just staying like that, Doc. I don't know why, but this feels like it would be in Stranger Things, this song. Like during a mall montage when everything's okay and the sinister underbelly has not been revealed to the cast yet. Except for Winona Ryder and like the people that end up dead that season. Because Winona Ryder's character is always the one that's like, shit's going down, and everyone's like, everything's fine. Meanwhile, people are dying and magnets stop working. And I'm not coming after Stranger Things when I say this. I'm just saying that when I was told it and I went back and looked at the series through that lens, I was like, huh, that's interesting. Somebody who was a writer basically said, I tried to watch Stranger Things again and I can't do it. And it's because there isn't a single conversation in Stranger Things that doesn't end in some sort of conflict. And when I rewatched just random scenes of that show, it's like completely true. Again on the floor. Every single like moment of dialogue on that show ends with some sort of conflict. And elevated like yelling speech. And after that it's like, wow, that is interesting. That means they literally cannot seem to write anything else. I also think that writer there might be a little bit of sour grapes. I don't know that, I don't even remember who wrote it, but Stranger Things is making money hand over fist for everyone involved. And one could make the argument that it's mostly just ripping off movies during the era that they were good and allowed to have kids in it, even though it was rated R. It was allowed to go that extra distance. Clear the board a little bit. Nope. Nope. You know, like late night TV hosts have like a band, and like their band has a personality. It's like a guy that speaks to them and whatnot. You know who I would? You know what I would want? It's kind of like a band. I'd want like a gospel band. Because gospel bands are fucking next level, dude. Gospel bands and gospel songs, they're like another tier of musicians. And they're reserved for like such a very specific thing. But you have to be pretty good to be moved by the music that easily, because gospel music is next level. And usually they're like session musicians for like huge names. Like really good gospel bands are like, oh yeah, I've worked with this guy and this guy, because I'm the gosh darn best. Alrighty, another set. Another set boxed up. The camera. Just threw my brick separator across the GD room. So I got one big bag and a bunch of small bags. But I only have one more set, kind of. Woody and Buzz. The issue being, Woody and Buzz are not in the same set. Buzz technically has their own set. And Bo Peep and Woody have their own set. Now I think what I'm gonna do is just get all three of them in one bag. Best ice cream topping. I do enjoy just a hot chocolate syrup. I also really enjoy peanut butter cups. Peanut butter cups on ice cream. It's kind of like my jam. Dusty. So sick. Get on the floor for this shit. Twix bars, not bad. Not bad at all. But yeah, I mean, peanut butter for me is just kind of like the jam. Like peanut butter chocolate, man. Let's do this. Let's bring it up. Let's get right on top of these things, huh? Let's get right on top of them. Probably should have done this hours ago so I wouldn't keep losing shit. Alright, who first? Bo Peep, because I don't like her character in the fourth story. Don't like her character. Don't like what that movie did at all. Don't like that she was straight up like, hey, Woody, how about you leave Andy? It's like, hey, bitch, how about you get to Stephen? Enjoy Goodwill. You want to know why? Because you want to walk out on your kid. That's why you're getting given away. Maybe too harsh on a fictional cartoon, but... As I sit here, I wonder. Fit all Bo Peep's shit in a smaller bag. And most of the box for the actually. No offense, but all offense. Not that you're a female presented character, because you represent what the dying of Toy Story was. It's almost like your character was brought back out of spite of not being in the best Toy Story movie, Toy Story 3. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to come back and destroy the franchise. How's that sound? Huh? You didn't want me in 3? Fine. I don't need to be in 3, but I'll be in 4 and ruin everything. Even though she's not the main reason why 4 ruins everything. She's just a part of it. A small part of it. It's also interesting, the idea that like toys have sentience and whatnot that is posited by like the story of Toy Story, right? Then that would mean that I'm literally ripping this character apart in front of him. Oh man, and talking about how I'm going to do it to the other one. Forgot about this bag. I like this bag. I think Lego stopped giving out these bags for missing pieces because I know people could use them like crazy. So they seal. This is more of a smooth jazz situation than a gospel or church situation. There we go. There we go. Now we're back on track. Are there any more movies you recommend for me to watch tonight? You got Lego Movie and something else, right? Should we talk about something else? Maybe Lego Movie and Lego Batman movie? Let's see, Lego Movie and do we say anything? Oh, Treasure Planet. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Dude, that movie. Who Framed Roger Rabbit holds up too well and is too good. Like, I'm shocked when I revisited Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just how freaking good that movie is. It is also historical because a movie like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is never going to get made again. Because the animation studios agreed to include characters on screen at the same time. So it's like, yeah, it's never going to happen again. It's so good and so... Oh my gosh, now I want to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Let's see, you got Lego Batman, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Treasure Planet. I don't know, man. That's a lot of movies. Like, assuming those were an hour and a half, you're already at 6 hours. And I know some of them are longer than an hour and a half. This is just a general list. Have you watched any Don Bluth movies recently? That would be Fievel. Oh, An American Tail. American Tail 2, Fievel Goes West. All Dogs Go to Heaven. Secret of Nim. Titan AE. The reason I bring up Don Bluth, because Don Bluth is, the original Land Before Time. The OG Land Before Time, before they made like 1,000 sequels. Reason I bring him up and suggest maybe a watch of his films. Don Bluth was a guy, and this was really spurred on by remembering some of these movies after watching some Funhouse videos. Don Bluth was a guy who used to work for Disney, but his ideas were a little too intense for Disney's brand, So he started making cartoons on his own, and all of his cartoons are like, they don't censor shit for the kids. So it's an animated movie about cute little characters, but they're all filled with dark scenes. American Tail is a great example of that. I had no idea how intense that movie actually is until I grew up a little bit and rewatched it and was like, oh, so this is just about Jewish immigrants in America escaping persecution. And All Dogs Go to Heaven was like about how like really shitty people like get what they deserve in the end, and it's like it's really crazy. I also haven't even seen Secret of Nim, but I heard Secret of Nim gets a little much because I think someone's dying at the opening of that. They also did Anastasia, which I believe starts with murder. American Tail is dope, dude. The second one is kind of weird because they made a sequel to something that tells a very like important story. This will be my last set deconstruction of the stream. You know what you could throw on top of that list, though, if you haven't seen it? The original Space Jam. The OG Michael Jordan Space Jam. I will not say it's a good movie. I don't think I could say that in good conscience. But I think it is a funny movie when you compare it to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which has the same kind of technology, but nowhere near the same kind of story or quality that Who Framed Roger Rabbit has. Whoop. And when I say Space Jam, I don't mean the new one, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Not that one. Not that one at all. I will never recommend that one. Not even out of like, oh, I love Space Jam, just because I think it's a bad movie. It's really bad. Actually, a good time to check on the keyboard, see if any pieces went underneath that, because that would be a problem. Pile of if you have time and you want to see just how far it's fallen, you could always check out Lego Ninjago movie, which I think was a big pile of trash. That movie got me very close to turning off a movie halfway through, which I don't like to do. One thing that my roommates and I have talked about, which they find kind of weird, is like, I will watch a movie, and I will continue to watch a movie even if I don't really think it's that good. I mean, we do it here all the time, watching movies that are not that good. we keep on keeping on. And like Lego Ninjago got me to a point where I was like, I don't want to keep watching this, but I'm on an airplane. I got nothing else to do besides maybe start listening to music or watch something else on my phone. But it's like I'm already halfway through this thing. Lego Movie, the second part felt off, and Lego Ninjago just felt not good. And I think that's why we haven't seen any more Lego movies. Because those were the last two that came out. Batteries, I just got this. Okay. It only needs 2 batteries. Characters are thick. Also, I think the Lego documentary called Lego the Brickumentary, I think that's free on YouTube. I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm not saying it's better than some of the other movies we picked, but I think that is available for free. Buzz is in the box. It's time for wood. Exposing his brain. Also, do you just want kids' movies, Squirtle? Also, I have to remember, you're technically not allowed to watch rated R movies. I'm not laughing at you because of that. I'm laughing because the movie I want to recommend is like, I don't think I can recommend that to a minor. Even though there's nothing really, mostly language, maybe violence. I don't remember every piece of this movie. While it is rated R, oh, I took his face off before the rest of his body. I believe the movie is rated R, and I do believe it has kind of a slow start, but I also think it's a great movie. Speed with Keanu Reeves. Rewatched that recently, and boy, is it dope. Also, of course, the original Point Break with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. Super good movie. A lot of bad words. And I think... Is there nudity? I don't think there's nudity in Point Break. Make sure to get your parents' permission before watching any of these. If it's rated R for bad language. Yeah, original Point Break and Speed. That's a good Keanu Reeves double feature. When it was young Keanu. And he's playing a cop and an FBI agent. And he has great partners in it. Jeff Daniels in Speed is so good. That's the other thing about this set that I was like, that is super cool. They put fluff in it. They put little balls of fluff. One movie I definitely will recommend you don't watch, only because if you're not ready for it, it becomes really, really, really depressing. And I forgot how depressing it was and pissed off my roommate. This is a while ago. The movie Jack, starring Robin Williams, where he plays a man that has like the mind of a child, but he's in a body of like a 30-something-year-old. That is not a good movie to find out is really sad. Oh, jeez. Alrighty. Oh wow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 deconstructed Lego sets. Oh damn. It's a lot of Lego set deconstruction, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to call it quits there, because the next one's going to take quite some time, and I kind of want to end this guy at noon Pacific time, which is in 20 minutes. So let's bring it back.
bring it back to the pulpit here. And one of my favorite actual songs. One of the few songs that I recognize every time I hear it. Got that build up. Got that build up. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I don't think I've ever actually seen it, but I know what it is. I've not seen it myself. Ready? Boom. Let me set something up now that can start being taken care of after I close the stream. So I'm a little ahead of something else. Huh? Why not? It's a Sunday stream. It's got no rules. It's got no rules. Be able to control that with... Oh, that's why. Because this isn't on. Oh, boy. Feels like I'm losing my mind. Anyway. Because that movie's about the Holocaust, right, Squirtle? That movie. That's what that movie's about. It's like Life is Beautiful. Life is Beautiful kind of does the same thing. Right now I'm actually checking which streams I already have ready to go. I think I haven't been doing this for quite a while because I've been a little distracted. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Movies about that thing specifically. Always a little, emotionally charged, I think is the right way to describe it. Emotionally charged. It's not exactly something you want to, I remember something that a roommate said that kind of like freaked me out a little bit. Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, the movie that my sister watched when she's sick was Schindler's List, so she could remember it could always get worse." And I'm like, that's a pretty intense movie to go. Yeah, it could be worse. Like you could do that with like Uncut Gems. You could do that with movies that aren't that intense. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted by something that I just don't understand. Now I understand where we're at. Okay. Sorry. My computer was confusing me. It was confusing me. This is not entertaining. This is me trying to fix something that's not really even that broken. Also, I don't know if you were here for it, shout out, but the movie we watched, House of the Dead / Alien Zone, that movie was blocked on YouTube. It's like, oh, copywritten. It's like, no, it fucking isn't. Nobody wants the copyright to this shit. Come on. For reals. Nobody gives a shit about what's it called? House of the Dead. No one's sitting there going like, oh my gosh, we have to protect the intellectual property House of the Dead, or else people are gonna walk all over us and start milking that property for all it's worth. It's like, no one's doing that, dude. No one's doing that. We're just watching public domain movies because nobody owns them and living our lives. You just let it go. Except now, I got none of that on the YouTube. No one knows that I watched it except for the people that were there and all the people I tell. And the fact that I'm sitting here on the internet telling you, hey, it's free to watch because nobody owns it. And they're like, oh, well, can't do that. Copyright. It's like, man, fuck off. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I think it's because I'm a combination of hungry and thinking about that sweet, sweet, delicious pizza that's about to come my way. I'm a little distracted by something else that I probably should take care of after the stream was already over, but I thought I would take care of it now, and it's distracting me. Anyway. What to do? I mean, I could either use up this 10 minutes, or I can just, you know, say sayonara now. We've deconstructed all that we're going to today. I will be back, Monday evening to watch the first of 2 movies that are linked together through a common theme. And I think it's gonna be dope. I think it's gonna be a good one. It looks fun. It looks like it'll be a fun time. So I hope I'll see some of the folks that were here there. Big thank you to Squirtle and everybody who may have already left. I appreciate you hanging out even for a moment. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday and a good rest of your upcoming week. Hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow. And if not, then maybe Wednesday. Have a good day. Enjoy my pizza. I will do my absolute best. I hope you enjoy your movies and and whatever you end up doing the rest of your Sunday, Squirtle. Have a good one. Peace.